I think that marijuana and psychedelics have been super valuable for me. Like American male, the most individualistic society we could come from, and head screwed on tight. That disruption is needed, and I didn't. I had a few psychedelic experiences prior to meeting Justin, but enough to give me a taste that there was a doorway there that was valuable, and it comes back to down to me and my use of it or my valuation for it, and I find that peers can be disruptive, Justin can be disruptive, circumstances can be disruptive, and drugs can be disruptive, but the disruption is really, really, really important, because otherwise just things move too much on the linear track. And some of the I don't know, a couple times a year take some psychedelic, and the where it takes me and what the doors that it opens up are I find extremely valuable. It's like it's always like like I get what I need. It's like I'm opening myself up. I'm putting control out on the floor and saying, I'm gonna take a moment here to let something loosen up and put the control that I normally operate under down for a moment and see what happens from that. Get a forevision of what's possible, and it gives me usually a glimpse of the mountain up higher, and this is the direction to keep going in, because a lot of our work is looking at the steps in front of us, and it's important to see, okay, that's where I'm going, having that touchstone. And I think the books and the movies and the songs and each other can provide that touchstone, but drugs can too. So I think it's important for that, and it also much of the time, and sometimes even during the same time of taking it, the things that are in the way are very apparent, and it's like, and sometimes in a different angle is shown of something I didn't see before, in terms of what some obstacle that's keeping me from having that be my reality, that higher state be my reality. So again, it's like, it's a thing that Justin's presented as a possibility. He's had value from it. He suggests we explore with those things, with marijuana, with drugs, and after the presentation of it, it's really like, good luck, and not that he's not available to say, hey, I had this experience, like, help me make sense of it, or what do you think about that? He absolutely is, but it's for me to do with it what I see fit to do with it or not. There's no shoulds, yet do it, not do it. It's completely my exploration, and it's become my own exploration, and I wish that everybody in the world who has any position of responsibility, any politician or business leader or whatever, would have some amount of time abroad in another country, 3 months, 6 months, a year, and one psychedelic experience, or maybe marijuana, but like going somewhere deep with it, and just having that shift happen, I think changes your trajectory as a human being. It brings more compassion. It's just like, it's it's like a wish that could be more available to people. And I know it's misused, and I'm not talking about that, but the in its higher form and its proper use, and I think that's important too, is to know how to use it and not misuse it, and that takes some training or guidance, I think, to know how to navigate that. But in its proper form, it's such a gift to human beings. I think it was given to us. I see drugs as the obelisk in 2001. It's like a touchstone that has been given to humanity from something higher, that is a potentially fundamentally altering thing, opportunity, and that it's been great for me, and that it opens up doors that I don't know would be open otherwise.
Yeah.
So I want to ask you about the use of drugs.
Yeah.
So they really, I think that maybe my understanding, the main mechanism by which they allow us this kind of forevision is by allowing a state of less control and less, they kind of turn the dimmer a bit of our willpower and control. a bit lower.
Yeah, that's accurate.
So it's kind of a state of surrender, somewhat resembling a state of surrender to a higher power or to higher potentials. Now, we can't really, so that's an induced effect, but we can't willfully produce that effect. You can't willfully surrender. So how does one move in the direction that gets revealed under that effect if all we know is how to use our willpower and agency and yeah, so that's
Right. Yeah, it's interesting because that particular conundrum erodes every part of spiritual pursuit,
yes,
from self-examination, seeing things as they are, to meditation,
yes,
because the concept of my meditation is a distorted concept, because meditation is a possibility to leave some my behind, and it becomes my, and I did well, I didn't do well, I try harder, I didn't try harder, and all those
That's right.
things. So some dynamic, some gift of a dynamic for most people in our kind of culture, whether it's European or it's American or any culture that has opportunities and alternatives. And let's say for all the people that have in the world that have multiple opportunities and alternatives are constantly choosing and exercising control. I want this, I don't want that, I want this, I don't want that. So how do we take that person and make them a possibility for opening up to a higher something that is really authoring their life more than they're authoring its life.
Yeah.
Right. So how do we do that? We have to have an example how that could be done, and it's good. It's not just survivable, but it's actually good. And I'm talking about this from my personal experience with someone who played that part for me. At first, I had no idea about what the relation was, nor did I think of it as that kind of a relationship. But after a while, it was clear that this person not only understood things that I didn't understand, knew about things that I didn't know about, but had a way about him that was something that was not available to me. Flexibility, kindness, points of view that would never occur to me. And the accumulation of that allowed me to go from a person who was controlling, as if people think they are or they aren't, they are. There's no other way. How can you do? You learn from the time, how do you control? You cry and the mom comes. That's the way to do it. Okay, mom. That's a very early lesson. And it goes from there. So I think that it's tremendously challenging and maybe possible. I can't say not possible because I haven't created this experiment, this design. Very challenging to enter into the passivity of meditation without having some training ground that it not only is survivable, but it's beautiful. And historically, the way that's been done is through the guru. You find somebody, you project all kind of beautiful qualities onto them. You don't know for sure, but you don't want to know for sure because, hey, they're wearing the robes and they're beautiful and there's 1,000 people, so 1,000 people couldn't be wrong, and so I'm going to be part of this, which is not really attractive to Westerners, but historically has been attractive. But we never know about the person who plays that part, but we do know that we have gotten some benefits from that, as you have.
Yes.
That okay, it not only is okay to be here, there's something really beautiful about it. Now, how does a Westerner going to learn that lesson? There's two ways that I can see. You have a perpetual near-death experiences, which I wouldn't recommend.
Risky.
Or you find someone who you can be in that relationship with,
Yeah.
or or psychedelics. But psychedelics are tricky because you decide when to take them. And so they're not really efficient in that way. The most efficient way is to find a person who's beyond all the wanting and the needing, and can actually play that part naturally, rather than, because their state of being is there and they don't have to, it's not compartmentalized for them. You can be part of their lives. They don't have to, you just don't have to see them on the stage once a year. Okay, but where are you going to find that? You're going to find people, and it's after a couple of months, years, you're going to find out that they're into your money, they're into your body, they're into power, they're into,
Yeah.
what the fuck, So it's a tough,
It is.
it's tough.
Yeah.
You got lucky.
Yeah, a lot of my friends didn't get that lucky.
Yeah, you got lucky. I got lucky.
Yeah.
I don't know how. I don't know how else to think about it. I didn't set it up, but I was receptive and I got lucky, and somebody was kind to me in that way, and like that. But I do know that if you're going to sit and meditate, you have to have gone through some way that experience where giving up control is not only survivable,
Yes.
but it's beautiful.
Yes.
And little by little is probably better.
Yeah. Yeah.